Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Mark, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget, please subscribe and hit that red button so you don't miss any future releases. In today's video, I'm giving a review of Disneyland Paris, an honest review. We went on the 7th of March as Disneyland Paris celebrates its 30th anniversary. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion of what I thought of Euro Disneyland. The first day we arrived, we went into Disney Studios, and to be honest, I felt very disheartened. I just didn't feel the magic. We went on one ride first. Admittedly, that was my mistake, but there were no warnings how bad this ride can make you feel. And it's got a nice fluffy cute image. It's the Turtle roller coaster, Crush's coaster. It's only when you get right up to getting close to getting actually into the coaster that they tell you if you suffer from travel sickness, don't go on this ride. And the mistake I made, it was my first ride of the day and I felt ill for the rest of the day. The one thing I noticed about Disneyland Paris was the security. And you know, I'm there to have fun and I can understand the need to have security. But when I turned up at the car park, you're met by a security guard, and they've got those pillars that come out of the ground, and he came up to me, asked me for my ticket, which I gave him, and then he asked me to open my boot, obviously to check whether I had anyone else hidden in the car. So that was the first security element. And then when I went into Disneyland Paris, you're met by metal detectors, teams of security guards to check your bags. And to be honest, it just put a little bit of an edge on the fun element of Disneyland Paris. Yeah, I'm aware in today's age it is necessary for security, but I don't know, it just spoilt the atmosphere for me going into Disneyland Paris and having to go through all those different security protocols. You're given a band that you put on your wrist, different colour every day, and again, that's just to check and allow the security to know that you're actually allowed to go in the park for that day. And also during the day, you know, it was quite noticeable that there were security guards stationed at different points around the park, just keeping an eye on the crowd and just making sure everyone's safe. But I noticed it, and I don't know, it just made me think, are we unsafe? Is there a need for the security? I guess there is, but it just put an edge on what I thought was going to be a fun holiday. Another element that I didn't like about Disneyland Paris was when you go through the gates and actually get into the park, you go through this corridor and it's like a gauntlet of restaurants and shops. You know, the restaurants cost you an arm and a leg. You know, we went into one restaurant for burger and chips for the four of us, and it cost us €50. You know, that's like €25 dearer than what McDonald's would have cost for the same food. And then I went in the shops. You know, they're not discounted shops. They've got Disney shops, they've got Lego shops. Everything's so pricey. And you know, especially if you're taking your children to Euro Disney, which is obviously the case, they're going to say, Dad, I want this, or Dad, I want that. And you know, unless you've got an unlimited bankroll, it just puts, again, a little bit of unease on the day. Just to let you know, we did find there is a McDonald's in Disneyland Paris, and it's the same price as McDonald's all around France. So they didn't actually hike the price up in McDonald's just because they're in Disneyland Paris. At the end of this video, I'll leave a thumbnail for another video I did reviewing the Disneyland Paris hotel that we stayed in and compared it to the hotel we stayed in the night before, just to break the journey up before arriving at Disneyland Paris. And the one thing that I was disappointed with the Disneyland Paris hotel was the only two things that made it a Disney room. Firstly, there was just one picture of, what was it? Bambi, I think it was. And the second element was in the bathroom, there was a shower gel and shampoo that had a Mickey Mouse head on it, and that was it. Apart from that, the room had no distinguishing features that you're actually in Disneyland Paris. Also, no coffee making. Not a kettle in the room. I couldn't believe that. I guess they're wanting you to buy the food and drinks in the resort. All about money. Another element within the hotel that we stayed at Disneyland Paris was the breakfast. How much do you think a breakfast, all you can eat, for 2 adults and 2 children? Any ideas? Well, in the UK, you can go to one of these pubs that do breakfast, eat all you want for £4 or £5. In Disneyland Paris, for a family of 4, 88 euros. Yes, you heard it right, 88 euros for a breakfast. And one of our boys, he only had a glass of orange juice and a croissant. That's the most expensive orange juice and croissant I've ever paid for. So we only had breakfast there once. We went actually into the resort and found a sandwich shop and just got a sandwich and coffee the second day. So the first day was spent in Disneyland Studios, and as I said, I didn't really feel the magic in that one. But the second day we went into Disneyland, and that was filled with magic. I felt, yes, we've arrived at Disney. The only thing that I was disappointed, and that was in both parks, Disneyland Studios as well as Disneyland, I just expected to see Disney characters walking around all day interacting with the children. That wasn't the case. We found that there were set times that a character would come out at a certain place just for photos and to a little bit of interaction, just for half an hour. What's all that about? You know, my imagination was running wild, and I was just thinking I was going to see Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy walking around the park all day long. That wasn't the case. The one thing that I really did enjoy was the Grand Parade, Disney Star Parade. But, guys, top tip, treat the Star Parade like a ride, and queue up and get yourself into position an hour before the parade starts. We didn't do that, and we found there was a queue, well, a crowd of people in front of us, 50, 60, 70 people in depth. And I couldn't witness, nor could the children, all the street dancers amongst the parade, dressed in Disney costume. All we could see were the floats. So we missed probably 40–50% of the entertainment because we were so far back. So top tip, get in a good position for the Star Parade and you won't be disappointed. It was fantastic. That's what Disney does. That's where the magic comes alive, in its parades, and just that we didn't get to see it because we were so far back. And guys, always see the nighttime extravaganza. It started at 7 o'clock for us, and it started off with lasers and light show, and then it went on to a firework display, and it was absolutely fantastic. So if you're there, you've got to watch that. Now this is an honest review of Disneyland Paris, and one of the other things that I was disappointed with, there were a lot of rides closed. There were a couple of water rides that weren't functioning. We went into the Old West side, and my boy loves guns and he loves shooting, and there was supposed to be a shooting range. That was closed. There was supposed to be a paddle steamer that went around the runaway train ride. That wasn't working. And when we queued up to go on Peter Pan's roller coaster, we queued for an hour for that ride, only to be told, sorry, there's a hiccup, you're going to have to wait a bit longer. And it was starting to get dark at that point, so we just left. So we wasted an hour queuing up for a ride that was stopped halfway through. Now, I've mentioned the fact that as you go into Disneyland Paris, you have this gauntlet of shops and restaurants trying to sell you their merchandise. Also within Disneyland Paris are individuals selling, i.e. bubble making machines. Again, 2 young children walking around Disneyland Paris, seeing other children with these bubble machines. Dad, I need to have one of them. 20 euros each. It just felt as though money, money, money. Give me more of your money. And I didn't like that aspect of Disneyland Paris. If you're travelling and you need to get a plane, There is a COVID testing centre within Disneyland Paris, but could we find it initially? We asked 3 different members of staff. They pointed us in the general direction, plus a security guard, and we just couldn't find it. In the end, we found out that it's actually in the cinema, and there's a side entrance and you have to go in there and you can have your COVID CPR test. So that's where it is, guys. But we couldn't find it, and we again just wasted so much time. Now, we enjoyed our stay at Disneyland Paris on the 7th of March. It was freezing cold. I think it was probably the first day there, it was 3 degrees throughout the day. But the one thing we noticed was the most popular rides, you still had an 80 or 90 minute wait. Now, I've got to ask you a question. We went during the school week. Can you imagine what those queues are going to be like during school holidays or in the summer months when it's absolutely swamped? Because there weren't that many people there, yet there was a 90-minute wait for some of the rides. So I wonder whether it's advantageous to actually pay for a priority ticket. No idea the cost of the priority tickets, but it does mean that you don't have to queue up and you can actually book a time to go on the rides. And I think at the end of the day, it might be money well spent, because we spent so much time in queues and not enjoying the rides. And at the end of the day, you know, you may only go to Disneyland Paris or Disneyland in America once in your lifetime. So in hindsight, I think it would have been better to have paid for the premium ticket so that we didn't have to queue, and we could have then enjoyed all the rides and basically packed in more during the day. So I think that was a mistake. So if you're going to Disneyland Paris, check out the price for the premium ticket, just to do the speed tracking and getting on the rides. Particularly during school holidays and in the summer months, I think you're going to need it, basically to avoid wasting so much time, because time's so precious in Disneyland Paris. There's so much to see and do, so many rides to go on. We ended up not doing half the rides simply because we ran out of time. So that's one of my top tips: buy the premium ticket. If you do have small children with you when going to Disneyland Paris, a couple of rides of note that I would thoroughly recommend. First one, Buzz Lightyear. That was brilliant. We did that twice. I would have done it a third time, to be honest with you. You go in there and you've got laser guns. You're sitting in a turnable sort of cabin, and you're basically going around firing at different targets. And the boys loved it. We loved it. So Buzz Lightyear, that's a brilliant ride. And the other one was the Cars Route 66. You basically went onto a train and did this journey. I won't give you too many details, but there is a thumbnail at the end of this video with that ride on it, and that was great fun as well for the kids. And we went on that one twice as well. So yep, Cars Route 66 and the Buzz Lightyear one for younger children. Fantastic rides, we really enjoyed it. The boys, you know, 5 and 8, also enjoyed the roller coasters. The only one they didn't like was Crush Coaster. We all came off that one feeling rather sick. I could hear Naomi telling the youngest, "Close your eyes, close your eyes." I did the same with the eldest. I closed my eyes as well, and I just wanted that ride over. Unfortunately, it was the first ride we went on the first day, and I was just ill for the rest of the day. I couldn't go on anything that goes round and round. Thing with me, I can't even go on a school playground roundabout without feeling sick. Yeah, I can go on a boat and fish all day long and be fine. But anything that goes round and round, no, does my stomach in. Roller coasters, I'm okay. Apart from that one. Crush's Coaster. That was terrifying. Now it sounds that I've done a lot of moaning today. I have. Because at the end of the day, I did feel a little bit disappointed with Disneyland Paris. Disneyland Paris itself was really good compared to Disneyland Studios, and I would recommend it. I would prefer now to go to the American Disney. I wouldn't go back to Disneyland Paris, mainly because of the weather. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This video has been filmed in 4K using our new YouTube setup. We're using a Sony AX53 4K camcorder fitted with a Sony shotgun microphone. So although I can hear all the tractors surrounding me doing their work, hopefully you're just focusing on my voice and you can see the difference in the quality of the video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Don't forget, hit that red button, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching this review on Disneyland Paris. I hope I haven't put you off. It is really good. I would recommend going and doing it, but beware, you need to take a lot of money with you.